Good morning, America. It is I, your boy, Jay Seals, the Lion, and we are back for another episode of the Book of Man Saturday Conversation. We got a good one for you this week, but first I want to send a big shout out to all my spring cleaners. You hitting that garage, you getting that yard together, you bringing that grill back out, you getting the car nice and shiny because it's springtime, the sun is shining. We got to get back out here on these streets. It's all my single men got to make some way. All my single ladies, you got to make some way. I know what time it is. Love is in the air. Let's do this thing. Let's clean up our house. Let's get our affairs in order. Let's get out here and make it happen. Good morning. What's going on with your big brother?
Man, I ain't even meant to hit the button for that song. That's my song. Woo, yeah. I know that beat hit, boy. You go out there and get it. Boy, I love that.
Man. Yeah, man. It's that springtime, man. You know, I don't know what the weather looks like down there, but we bright and sunny. It was supposed to be raining today, but we done defied the odds, and it's beautiful out here today.
You know why it ain't raining today?
Right.
Because it's raining over here. For sure. But look, y'all listen. We finished another book on our book study, The Way of the Superior Man. That book, it literally changed my relationship here in my house because I've started doing things, and it changed the way I looked at stuff. So A1, the next one, Atomic Habits. Ooh, that book is on fire, bro. It is the manual for making your life better. We are going to start that this week. And this one is more like we have to teach it. We got to teach it and talk about it. Teach it and talk about it. It's written like that. I've been reading it already. I got some stuff prepared. Man, we're going to go in there and get it. Like Atomic Habits. That is it. Atomic Habits. Quick housekeeping. If you want to interact with us, no matter when you see it, leave a comment below. And if you happen to jump on here while we still online, let us know if you want to come up with us, and I'll drop it in the comments. You click it, come up, we can talk. There it is, man. So in a nutshell, man, that's what's happening. I'm excited.
Yes, sir. We got another book. We love it. That's the main, that's one of our main focuses here, man, the book study. They say black men don't read, so we're gonna contribute to that. We love the book study because some of these books, man, you just need to process it with somebody else to get the real deep value out of it. Also, I want to say excuse me to anybody out there. It's pollen season. I'm getting whooped. So if I sound funny or if I'm coughing a little bit, that's all it is. I appreciate you bearing with me.
Oh, man, it's all good. We know how it is. We know exactly how it is. All right. So you asked earlier, what are we going to talk about? Let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to show you the thumbnail. And then we got a lot to say about this.
Oh, yeah.
That was the thumbnail, the dark side of Jay Morant. Whose fault is it? And he got his hands because he don't know whose fault is it. So we're going to talk about that today.
I got a lot of mixed emotions and mixed feelings about this young brother. I was excited last year when he made the playoffs and was making a run, got hurt. I like the way the brother plays basketball. I enjoy watching him. I think he's one of the top 10 players in the league. Very exciting young player. And going through a lot in his life right now. I got a lot of mixed feelings about it.
Yeah. I have some specific feelings about it. Very specific. Now, I will admit I haven't been following sports for years. Reason why is when I started my studies, it just was taking time away from the goal I was trying to achieve. So I stopped watching. But I do know some things about him, and I did a lot of reading and trying to catch up to find out about Jay Morant or John Morant. I probably ain't even saying his name right. That just goes to show. But this is what I think. And the thing is, whose fault is it? If I had to blame somebody, well, first of all, the blame goes with the person because he's the one that did it. Right?
First and foremost, let's you got to start where it's at. That's a grown man. He young.
He did it. 23.
Right. He's very young, but he is an adult. He's been in the league for, I think, 4 years, if I'm not mistaken now. So he's been around and had a lot of money in his pocket for a while now.
But look at this though. I mean, he just got that contract extension. All right. In 2019, he got like 39.6 million. Now you 21, 21 years old, $39 million.
Yeah.
And then he just got another extension. I think the extension was what? 200 and some million?
Yeah. He got whatever the max is. Whatever the max he got.
Big numbers. Big numbers. So he bring the people in. But here's the thing for me. Here is the thing for me. When you are on a public stage, you have a responsibility. Because that organization, if you messing up too bad and you tarnishing their image,
right,
they ain't want nothing to do with you. I mean, a lot of things have morality clauses.
Well, we don't. Yes, a lot of the contracts in the NBA do have morality clauses. We don't know the terms of his contract. What we do know is a lot of the things that has recently come out have been bad. Have been bad for a positive public image. They've not been things you would want associated with a player on your team if you're the NBA franchise, or I would think you wouldn't want associated with yourself as an individual if you're trying to grow your brand.
Now, my boy Spoon said he's a product of hip hop culture. I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit.
I can't disagree with you. I can't disagree with the part of hip hop culture. Some parts of hip hop culture.
I'm gonna say this. No, I think it's trying to be hood culture.
Yes,
it has infected everything. I see it on a daily basis, and this is straight up hood culture. So, if I run down the stuff that has happened within the past 6 months, you will see.
Well, let's give the people an idea of things that have happened in the last 6 months.
All right,
and we'll talk about it.
So here's the first one. In September, him and his boys went to his sister high school volleyball game. They went to the game, a middle school, because somebody called his sister a B. While they playing. And now they ready to fight. The mama ready to fight. They ready to fight. All of these folks ready to fight at a middle school. These people 12 and 13 years old. Now, I teach middle school, so I can guarantee what happened, because I bet you his sister ain't innocent either. But the fact that you go to a middle school with some kids and threaten to fight people, and they think some people got guns and all that, over at a middle school game, you worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but you going to a middle school game starting trouble.
That sounds pretty silly.
All right, we got that one.
But let me ask you this, just for further clarification: was there an actual altercation, or were they just there?
There was an altercation. It didn't get physical.
So basically arguing and yelling with some people.
Well, one witness said the associate was about to pull a gun, but the police say they never saw the person with a firearm, which I don't put any credit by that. But still, all right, let's take what I said earlier. All eyes on you.
Right.
Everybody know you. When you step in a place, they recording you, looking at you, all of this stuff. And you gonna tell some kids, I don't care nothing about that. I beat all y'all.
Listen, I'm not arguing it was stupid. It sounds like it was a bad idea. It sounds like it'd be a bad idea for you and me to go do something stupid like that.
Exactly.
Right. But I'm just trying to get all the facts.
But
as we go through this, I want to find as many facts as we can before I start commenting.
And I'm gonna put this thing together now.
All right.
Who was the one that started it? It say, which one of y'all call her a B? Morant's mother, Jamie, allegedly asked.
His mama.
All right, we got that.
He was only down there because his mama.
Oh, all right, but now let's move to the next incident.
Right.
Finish line. Where was it at? That's September. Oh, no. I'm gonna try to do this stuff in order. September again. He had some kids playing basketball at his house, 17-year-old, playing basketball with him. Apparently, the boy checked the ball hard at him. He checked it back to him. The boy checked it back to Morant. Ball went by, hit him in the face. Now he going around beating up this kid. And allegedly, he went in the house and grabbed his you know what, and brought it back outside.
Yeah. Again, I'm gonna say one, ridiculous. I don't know why you playing ball with a 17-year-old in a non-camp situation. That's not family. Now, had that been like his little cousin or somebody like that, okay, I can understand. Or a close friend to the family, maybe, one of his friends' sons or something like that. But being that you're an NBA player and you get paid to play ball, you probably shouldn't be playing with little kids not because there's something wrong with playing with them, but their energy and exuberance might get you hurt.
That again, but
that's why I say it's a bad idea, because they're going to be so excited to be playing with somebody like a Ja Morant. They may get overzealous and do something that may injure you and hinder you from playing ball professionally. That's why I say that.
So again, who's responsible? But keep that in your mind.
Right.
So that happened. This is a kid. I mean, he may not be the size of a kid. He may be the same size. I don't know. But the simple fact of legally he a kid.
Right.
And you just struck a kid, so you committed some child abuse right there.
Right. But again, no police report filed.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, they did.
Okay, no arrest made?
The mama filed a police report, took him to the hospital to do all that.
Okay, was an arrest made?
No, they ain't arrested him.
All right.
But what I'm trying to paint this picture. I'm gonna show you the thing. So after that, now this is all September. So thing was cool November, December, January, February. February come. Now where is this thing at? His mama got into an argument with somebody at the finish line at the mall. She called him and all his boys going up to the mall. And they start threatening folks. Yeah. In the public place at the finish line. Matter of fact, it's 4 days before the finish line. So that's still in September. She called Morant for backup. Morant then entered the mall with an entourage of at least 9 people and was confronted by the head of security. Morant refused to leave the mall's parking lot, and authorities arrived at the mall. As the group was leaving the premises, Morant allegedly stated, "Let me find out what time he gets off." And they felt threatened like that.
Okay, I ask again, was an arrest made?
No, they filed a police report.
They did file a police report.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But this is all gonna go into the thing though.
Right. Was there any actual physical violence that occurred?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
But if it was, I'm quite sure they would have did it. But but remember the hood thug hip hop culture.
Oh yeah,
we gonna connect it all.
We gonna connect it all. I'm just trying to make sure everybody understands the depth of each situation. Okay,
what happened after that? Now we got the thing with him flashing the gun on Instagram, and I saw that video.
No, I think the Shannon Sharp incident happened before the.
I didn't write that down. But yeah, he argument with Shannon Sharp and all his boys, and they was pointing laser lights at the at the bus. Yeah, and I know that's a thing because I got kids at school who claiming gang affiliation be trying to do that to folks. It's happening. So then we got the Instagram thing, which I saw that video.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And he had the gun,
Yeah. Dumb. Again, not illegal though.
Okay.
Not illegal. That I believe he was in Tennessee or Texas at the time.
He was in
Tennessee, which is an open carry state.
Yeah.
So not illegal for him to have the weapon. As long as that establishment allowed him to have the weapon, he could legally have the weapon.
Yeah, he can. But okay, here's my question. And I'm probably going to try to finish painting this picture after this. So why is it that we always want to give extra chances and we always want to give passes to certain people all the time? If I was to go on Instagram with a gun waving it around, the first thing they're going to say is, look at them church folks. They hypocrites. It is no grace, no mercy for everybody else. But this dude, because he play basketball and make lots of money, he can do all this stuff.
No, he can't.
Oh,
I don't agree he can't. I'm
public
simply
opinion.
saying, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
I know.
I'm simply saying, any man, including John Morant, if you have not broken the law, should you be allowed? Should you be looking at so negatively when you haven't broken the law? Technically, now I don't agree with anything that he did. Technically, what he's done is come to the defense of his sister and come to the defense of his mother, and went to a club and had a gun in a state where it's legal to have a gun. Honestly, I would say he's protecting the women in his family and executing his right to legally bear arms. I can make that argument.
Okay.
These are not bad things, because what do they say? Protect black women. That's exactly what he did.
Hey, but here's the thing, though, and we don't know. We don't know.
Did
these women he's protecting start the trouble to begin with?
We don't know. Possibly, maybe not.
There's a thing, and I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's like a murder by proxy,
right?
And I know when I watch Tiosan Johnson, he always talk about black men being unpaid security and all this other stuff, right? And what he's alluding to is the fact that some of these people, they go and they cause this trouble, and then they say, "Oh, I'm gonna call him." So they start it, then they call the backup to come and finish it,
right?
But the question is this: if you know you got all these millions on the line, and you still doing this stuff. Matter of fact, he says this, John, and this is on MSN. He said John Morant breaks silence on viral video where he flashed the gun at the club. This is not who I am. Yeah, that is who you are.
That's who you are. Well, hold on. Let me say this. I don't think that's who he is, because if you look at how he grew up, it really shouldn't be him. I think he's trying to portray an image of an individual who has a more rough background than what he really is, trying to fit into what group, I don't know. He is playing in Memphis, and we know Memphis is a tough city.
Yep, because we talked about Young Dolph. I want to try to bring some of that back into this.
Right, he is playing in Memphis. I don't want to blame the city of Memphis. I will say this: at the level he is at. All right, let's break it down. This is a point that was broken down by Nick Wright, and I thought it was a great point. Right now in the NBA, Giannis, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, is an argument can be made on the top 4 players in the NBA.
Right.
One of them are American born. There's another argument that says John Morant is the best American born player in the world right now. Or at least the young one. If Kevin Durant might be the best and LeBron might be the best, but amongst the young guys, John Morant is the best American born player. Better than Zion, better than all those guys. He has an opportunity, marketing-wise, to make so much money. All of this can hinder that. He's a decent-looking kid. He does have he has a lot of appeal to the younger audience. And I think he has to really, him, his father, his mother, somebody to say, hey, look, we got to rein this thing in so that we can take advantage of the opportunity. That you are the biggest American-born star in the NBA right now.
Now, you done said something, and this is what I wanted to come back to. In half of these stories, what happened? Who was the one that called him?
His mom.
And you just say his parents to try to reel him in. Well, and I want to say this. There is an assumption because somebody comes from a 2-parent home that, they do certain things. But I'll tell you this though, if the parents are teaching them these hood mentality things, that's what they're gonna be. And I'm gonna tell you how I know. Well, of course, I see it all the time. I see it 24/7 all the time. But I got a quick story, man, and this is something I never forget. I was working at a grocery store, right? And in Garden City, so y'all know where it was. So I goes in there. This lady bought 6 boxes of Capri Sun, right? 6. I'm back in the groceries. She said, "Hey, could you put those in a paper bag for me?" So I stopped putting like 2 in a paper bag at a time. She said, no, I just want 1 in the paper bag. And just lay it flat in the bottom because it's easier to carry. I did what she wanted to do. Let me tell you what this lady did. She goes and walks out one door, comes back in with her 5, 6 kids. They push the buggy to the back of the store. Oh, no, it ain't the F-Lion. It's the Iggly Wiggly. But they push their buggy to the back of the store in the freezer section, right? Next thing I know, she's sending all the kids out to grab meat and everything else. And they come back and they drop it in the paper bag. And then they walk out the front door. So she pay about $12 and getting a couple $100 worth of groceries. Now, here's the issue. And what I'm talking about, how parents teach their children how to do these behaviors. I think this is what he's been taught. That's what he's been taught.
Well, my argument against that is prior to now, he had no known history of any incidents like this. Mm-hmm. So all the way through 0 to 18, no issues. Went to college, did his year at college, got out, no issues. Was in the NBA for a year or 2, no issues.
Right.
Maybe it's the big contract, and the whole family, now that they got that kind of money, the big contract money, feel like they, above reproach or whatever the deal might be, and how they should be addressed and talked to or whatever. And they may all need a period of adjustment to becoming, technically he just secured generational wealth for his family.
Oh, of course he did.
And they are part of that. They need to learn how to adjust to that.
Exactly, man. And I mean, but again, I think it's coming from the parents.
Yeah. And then, but all the work, you can't discount all the work that's been done. And I hope this is a case of what I'm saying. Just a kid, had money, like, big money just thrust upon him. Mm-hmm. He went from the entire length of his contract being worth more than 1 year's contract.
Exactly.
So it's a big change. And I understand there might be some growing pains with that, but that's just a matter of getting the right people around
him. Man, now see, that's another thing. Oh yeah, y'all, I just dropped the link in the comments. So if you want to come on, go ahead and click it. And you can come on. I mean, I think this is bad all around. And here's the sad part. That the incidents that they're not talking about, because I know you mentioned that. And from my experience, the things that I've seen, it'd be a bunch of small stuff.
Right.
That people say, oh, it's small, don't worry about it. And we keep pushing it to the side. And then until the big thing happens. So, and with children, they do a lot of small things.
And I hope we're catching it with y'all before the big thing happens.
To me, I think this is the big thing.
Well,
I think he's been doing little stuff the whole time. He's been doing little stuff the whole time. Little things that, it ain't quite right, but then you don't want to. Because, I mean, didn't the team have a meeting about him? And they thought, man, hey, we don't want to have to deal with this.
Well, the team suspended him before the NBA did. And then the NBA came back and suspended him for 8 games. Retroactive, meaning the games he had already missed. The team gave him plus. I think it ended up being like 3 more games. He'd already missed like 5 games from the team. And he had 3 more. He'll be back next week, sometime next week, to be eligible to play. Whether or not he's going to play, I don't know. They said he'd definitely be back by the playoffs, which is what I think he'll come back.
I mean, they ain't going to let him go. I'm serious.
I mean, I don't think he did anything bad enough to be let go. Because he technically hadn't broken any laws he may have conduct detrimental to the team, but I don't think any of it has been severe enough where you let a player of his talent go.
Man,
And this is a guy who
this is what I see,
and makes
man.
you a playoff team.
I mean, they can save them. They can change them. They can do stuff, but I do believe that this stuff is him. This hood stuff is him.
So do you think he was raised with this hood stuff, or do you think this is a product of adjusting to millionaire status, multi-millionaire status?
I think it was always in him.
So you think he just now has the means to be that? Because now he got a big enough group of people around him and all that kind of stuff, enough yes men to let him be that.
Because this is the nature of it. This is the nature of it. The more attention that you get, the bigger the show got to be.
Okay.
That's how hood stuff is. That's how it is. And y'all know it. When somebody, when a hood person do something, get offended or something happen, they're going to do it to get the biggest, most attention they can. And y'all know that's why we got tons of video out there, people doing some dumb stuff.
Yeah.
They see they be recorded and then they turn it up to 100. They wild out. What the kids say, crash out. That's what they do. I'm telling you. And that's the crazy stuff. All right, man. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Julio is in the house.
Oh. We want to welcome him in, man. None other than Julio, co-host of the CO show, author, 3D printer,
paying attention.
Coaster salesman.
Oh, we paying attention, are we?
Yeah. We see the boy getting to it out there. IT guy and all things in between. Father and husband. None other than Mr. Julio ATL. How you doing this morning, big bro?
Oh, I'm doing awesome. I like to say involved father and happily married.
Oh, there we go. My bad. I don't
It's not about that I need you to say that to me. I'm just saying, like, those adjectives aren't used, and the reason people don't use all the time because they are not those things. They are not married and they are not involved.
For sure.
I'll make sure I add those adjectives to the next introduction if you should choose to join us. I am actually excited to get your point of view.
Yeah, let's go.
Brother John Morant, because I'm fairly certain it's very interesting.
Okay, so one fun fact, I actually was stationed like right in the vicinity of where he's from, because a guy I was stationed with used to get his hair cut by his pops. I guess used to either cut hair or own a barbershop. So it's not the hood. I mean, it's country. You can have the hood parts of the country, but it's the country nonetheless. They don't get as close to the urban stuff as you do in Savannah. And that's on a small scale compared to Chicago, New York, so the bigger cities.
But country hood is a different thing though, man. Country hood is different.
Yeah, country, you be thinking country folks are slow and stupid if you want. They setting you up for the long play. You ain't making it out of the town.
Right.
No.
But he needs to grow the F up. Real talk. It ain't the parents, because at a certain point you realize this activity is wrong. I can't do these things. It's drilled into their heads from the time that they become serious playing the AAU circuit that this is now a business. Especially nowadays, because now you have all the information up. It's not like 2000, the 90s, 80s, where information was a lot more limited because we had a lot less internet, especially in the 80s and 90s where it didn't exist at all. You can see the stupid stuff that Iverson did. Not that he did anything like this, but just the dumb stuff he did. And I use him as an example because he's popular and he was, posterized. The dumb stuff Michael Vick did. The dumb stuff any other athlete has
done. Speed rail.
Yeah. So there's plenty of proof there what not to do. And then you had plenty of examples of what to do. Steph Curry, Chris Bosh, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Dame Lillard, all these people who got this money early were superstars from the onset, and that second contract was as big at the time as his is now.
Right.
So all this on him, especially LeBron, who got $90 million contract while still in high school, because they knew he after he announced he going to the league. So he had $90 million, not in the bank at one time, but the contract for $90 million.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
So yeah, you can look at the parents, and I agree with you, seeing the two-parent household. It doesn't really define whether the kid's going to be good or bad, because I'm quite sure there are serial killers with 2 parents. I'm quite sure of this. There are also Nobel Peace Prize winners that are foster kids. I'm quite certain of these things. So while it plays a small part in you as an adult, you cannot blame that shit. We need to quit saying, well, the dad needs to carry him a certain way, because if he carried himself like LeVar Ball, you would have an issue with that. He was a ball father. So what do you want? You can't have it both ways. Like, he's not responsible for his son. He got him to where he is. He's an adult. If he does a crime, he gets a charge as an adult.
Let me ask you this question. Because, you know, you and I are the same, both involved fathers, right? If you see your kid veering down a path that's detrimental to them, would you let them do it? Or would you try to interject yourself to try to change the course?
Okay. So with my 2, and I got a 14 getting ready to turn 15 in like 3 weeks, when they just turned 12.
Yep.
I talk to them and give them answers to stuff in real terms, use words that I want you don't hear, because it's my house and this is how I parent. You do as I say, not as I do. And I give them real world consequences to not doing small stuff like paying attention in school. You want to work at Burger King making $10 an hour, or you want to go work at IBM making $150,000 an hour and be able to go on vacation like me and your mom take you every year. Those small things, I instill in them. If you do this, you're going to end up in prison, and you're not built for that. These are the things I really have those conversations with. Now, as an adult, you know, like I know, when we were in our 20s, people are sitting up here acting like they listened to their parents and they were just stellar. No, we just didn't get filmed doing stupid stuff. And
I did. That wasn't me.
Okay. I mean, but trust me, I've done some stuff.
Absolutely. I'm glad cameras were around when I was in my 20s.
So if I had got filmed doing the stuff that I did, bro, this conversation, I would just be getting out. Like real talk. And I'm not bragging, I'm just saying. When you get to that.
No, you're freezing up a little bit there.
Yeah, like we lost him. But he's absolutely correct. There was a lot of things that I did in my 20s that if people was out with cameras, who knows what the story would be of my life right now.
Right.
We lost you for a minute there, Julio. You back?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So as an adult child, right, I could talk to you, but if you persist on doing stupid stuff, right, I got to let you feel that fire, because real in the big scheme of things, what he did, yes, it was completely stupid. It could have went left really quick, but it didn't. Okay, let's pull back a little bit. Let him learn. Now, if he's truly learning, because I thought the answers were damn near BS that he gave. But what do you expect him to really say other than that? There's not a real answer you could say. Like I want to say Will Bond said on one of the sports centers, like, I want to see action, which you got to give him time. You can't expect action now because he hasn't been able to prove himself. Now we're going to see if he's truly dedicated to living in a different manner. And
go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
No, go ahead.
Okay. 2 things. Well, one, half of those incidents that I read off in the beginning, who was the one that started them?
Well, I'm sorry. I just got on. I was running.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you who it was.
I would say it's him. You know, just me.
His mama. His mama was the one that called him down to that finish line. His mama was the one that called him to the middle school game. His mama drawing him into this stuff. So
nah, you got to protect the bag at all costs. Real talk. You got to protect the bag. You got to protect the bag.
Say it one more time, Julio. You got to do what at all costs?
You got to protect the bag at all costs. Like, real talk. And that goes back to like the Michael Vick situation. I don't understand how. I know what they wanted. Man, look here. I'd have been so much on that cross that you would have never looked at Michael Vick. I'd have been giving you shit on me to keep him.
Listen. Hey man, Mike didn't know nothing. I didn't tell Mike nothing. I was lying to him.
Stole the money from Mike to buy this house and forged his signature. He didn't even know this house was his.
Right. Man, please.
He thought it was mine.
So, and the 2 things I'm getting to. Well, one, again, parents draw their kids into certain behaviors because either they defend them when they don't need to be defended, or they cause the behaviors. And the second thing is, I would say, even as a parent, when kids are more grown and they're having trouble, most involved parents gonna try to help them. I'm one example, and this is on a small scale. My daughter is 19 this year at college, and she's having trouble writing for psychology class. So you know what I do? Instead of letting her fail, call me. I call her every day. We pull up Google Docs and we write. I teach her how to write. I teach her what to do in college, who to talk to, what to say. I do this every single day for the past month and a half. Every day I call my daughter on the phone at 8, 9 o'clock. All right, send me what you got. Do it every single day because I want to teach her how to do it. So as an involved parent, that I want to try to transcribe that to this situation. Just like you say, protect the bag. Okay. And again, you don't have to do it, but come on, man.
Well, first off, you have a skill set that says you can help your child. We don't know if his parents have a skill set to help him. There are not a lot of people who have a skill set to help a person that went from regular average to 200 million.
Oh, that's true.
It's not a lot of us that have that skill set. I do think it is incumbent upon his parents to recognize, hey, my son may need some other guidance than what I can give him.
Well, and tracing it back to what I said earlier.
On top, really think about this one. When everybody got these stimulus checks last year, right, or whenever it was 2 years ago, they were big stuff on the internet. They were balling out, doing all this stuff because they got just a little bit of money. They ain't getting nowhere near the money this man's getting.
Right.
Dad, you got to think that they really have a good run at some money. Like they really got access to millions of dollars, right? So they feeling themselves. They're too busy, probably caught up in themselves to realize, one, we need more of this money, so we got to stop doing stupid stuff. Plus, they're not used to the fame they're getting on their level for being the parents of this NBA superstar that you see his face on the TV every 30 seconds that there's an NBA commercial.
Right.
So they're dealing with that themselves and learning how to process it. Instead of taking it in stride, got away, take some deep breaths and wrap your mind around this new world you're in and try to navigate it like walking on eggshells till you figure it out. Don't act like you know it all until you get there. Once you get there and you can prove yourself, then you can walk in like the superstar that you probably are.
Now, here's the question, and we don't know, but I want to go back to the players meeting. I can't remember who called it, but they had a meeting about him.
I think the center called that meeting.
Yeah, Steven Adams. Steven Adams.
Yeah. I think he's the one, at least the most vocal from the people saying.
And they all agree, man. We gotta do something about this. We can't allow this because again, I'm gonna pull this back up. What Fritz said, he's detrimental to the NBA brand. It's severely harmful to the NBA as a business. With that being said, does anyone agree that the NBA has a responsibility to help him?
No. They don't have a responsibility to help him because he's not the only star. They can put that same energy they put behind Ja Morant behind someone else. Now, do I think they would love for Ja Morant to get his act together and be a star? Because I do believe he is the best young American superstar. And I think they need that. Well, they don't need it, but I think they want that in the NBA. They want to maintain an American superstar the same way they want to maintain a superstar of other ethnicities. They love to have a white superstar because it generates interest. It just does. There's no way around it. So there's no point in playing around it. I think they would love it to be him because he's a good-looking kid. He comes from a two-parent household. There's a lot of things they can sell that don't include none of this bull that he's doing right now.
Bruh, if they really worked it out, real talk, y'all remember when Donovan McNabb got his mom the soup, or they went to them with that pitch. You tell me this ain't picture perfect that you can do it. Everybody does it, bro. Everybody's mom who's like a John Morant, if they want to, because all of them don't. Like LeBron's mom, I've never seen her in anything. But for the rest of them, they have these opportunities, and he does. And Steve Adams, whatever he said in that locker room was probably right. One, he doesn't want to get rid of Ja. He appreciates Ja, but we got to rein in his behavior because we got something special here in Tennessee. We got something special here in Memphis.
Yeah. And Steve Adams is a bit older. His window's smaller than the rest of those kids on that team. And I think he knows he has a team that can compete.
Bro, he's been around superstar. He played with Durant, if I ain't mistaken, in OKC.
Yes, Durant and Westbrook, yeah.
So he's seen these young men progress to being leaders of the league, from James Harden to that starting four that five that they had. Them dudes became superstars in the league.
Right. And he don't want to see it happen again where that kind of team gets broken up before they achieve their highest level. Between Jaren Jackson and Desmond Bain and John Morant and Steve Adams, they got a real chance, because I think this is one of the most. This year is one of the hardest years to call who's the best team. Like, it's close.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I'm pulling for my boy Brian, but man, they close one last night at the buzzer. Good.
Yeah, I don't want to comment on the Lakers. They blowing it. They blow, but never. I digress.
Yeah.
But I guess what the point I want to get to, and the whole thing of this show, who is responsible? I think everybody has a responsibility. Everybody. Ja Morant, most of all, and maybe he got a lot of stuff to learn. He got to know how the game work. When I say the game, I'm not talking about basketball.
We know
life. Being under scrutiny all the time. He got to know how it worked. And you have to understand that because you have these millions of dollars, somebody giving you that millions of dollars, and they got more money and power than you.
Yep.
And you have to play the game. Again, what I always say, the more they pay you, the more they own you.
Well, this is my thing, right? Like, anytime I'm you talking about 43-year-old, but as a 20-something-year-old, when you put into that, you start gaining more maturity quicker. Like, going to the military will mature you quicker at 18 than going to college. It's just putting more responsibility. So at that point, you start learning things like, let me ask this person for advice. Now, my thing is, there is a slew of people in the league that he can call that at this point may not be as big as he is, but have dealt with it and know how to carry themselves in the things he needs to do to start maneuvering the right way. Like, first example you would think of obviously is Brian. Can I get in touch with him? Okay, I can't get in touch with him. What about Steph? Can I get in touch with James Harden? Can I get in touch? Somebody who's been through this with that type of money that can tell you, man, you need to stop this and this. So he's ultimately responsible for him. His parents are only responsible for themselves, but if they care about the lifestyle they are living now, they're going to take more of a hand in getting him to the right place. Other than that, I guess I'll see you back in the hood, bro.
You didn't. Yes.
I hope the kid doesn't blow an opportunity that, it ain't but 11, 12 guys on the NBA team. And it ain't but about 20 guys walking around with NBA max contracts. So you talk about you one of 20 in the world. And I hope he doesn't mess that up for himself. And I hope this doesn't escalate beyond what we've seen. He's a young man. He would technically be just out of college starting a job under regular terms.
Yep.
Probably out here trying to find a place for him and a couple of his friends or something like that. So he's in a drastically different situation than most people in his age group. Most guys in his age group trying to get in the club before the VIP get closed down and before because they stand in line mad and letting all the girls in first. That's what most guys his age are doing. And he's in a different situation. He's in a totally different boat. And I hope he has an opportunity to figure it out before it's too late or before he ruins the opportunity. I love to watch the kid play. I think he's a great kid on the court. And it's sad to see to a certain degree. However, I will say this. He has not been charged with anything. And the gun incident, totally legal in the state of Tennessee. So he's not out here breaking the law. But it's not guilty brand. Not guilty brand at all.
Oh, you talking about the gun in the club?
Yeah.
He was in Denver.
He was in Denver.
Colorado open carry as well.
What I'm saying, yeah, you can open carry, but like You still can't pull it.
As long as the establishment.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Just because you can do something,
don't mean you should.
Mean you should, bruh.
Let me put this back up again.
The club, right? If I'm in the club and I see somebody pull a gun and I got my strap on me and I can't tell whether they're pointing it at me or pointing at the camera or whatever, I'm not waiting till you bust off a shot to figure it out.
Did you see how he did it? Did you watch the video?
No,
I watched it. And let me tell you how he did it. You know, he was doing this thing on the camera, had the phone like this. He had the gun like this with some fingers, and it was like he had the handle and he was doing like this with it. It wasn't nothing about that big. It was a little thing. But
off rip, that lets you know he don't handle pistols because nobody with a pistol would do that.
That's what I'm saying. But look at this. Again, I'm gonna put this back up here. This is what folks don't understand. It's detrimental to the NBA brand. And it's harmful to the business. They will bury him before they let that thing get hurt. They'll get somebody else.
Real talk.
It's easy. They can make any superstar they want. They can make them. They can manipulate everything to make whatever they want.
Real talk. Yes, he's exciting to watch, but I put it to you like this. I'd watch Trey every day of the week before I watch him play. One, Trey wins. Two, Trey's doing the shit by himself. Trey's doing it in Atlanta by himself. So Trey's more exciting. He just dunks a lot. This boy can shoot. Trey can shoot, can get to the cup, can do everything he can do except for dunk the way he dunks.
I'm not gonna get into a player debate. I like Trey Young. I like Ja Morant. I think Ja Morant's a better player.
You're confusing, sir. It's not a debate when I'm right. Like, okay.
Like I said, I think Ja Morant's a better player, but you're right. Trey Young he don't have no help. The guys they thought were going to be help did not turn out to be help.
I mean, let me take it back. The other guard that got Murray, I think is his name this year.
He's playing well.
Yeah, but the rest of them are basically role play. John Collins at this point is a role player, but that's all time.
Right.
So look at this. He has to be responsible to his employer, just like all of us, no matter what our salaries are. That I'm gonna agree because with me personally, you know, being an educator, and I had this talk with my wife yesterday. It's called situational moral turpitude. It's certain things I can't do. If I'm on, and the beginning of every year, the lawyer come to the school and they say, all right, here goes some cases. This is what y'all shouldn't do. And you know what one of them is? Posting yourself drinking on social media.
Yeah.
If you saw your teacher drinking on social, parents saw that, that can cause you to lose your license.
Well, my thing, I learned that from my job, bro. I almost got walked out as quick as I got the new position in IT. Like, I was, are y'all serious? Like, I couldn't believe why I was getting called in, even once they showed me. But I had to look at it from their point of view. I was like, oh, I understand now. Even if I agree with it, what the people who were in front of me saying, I like the new bag I was getting. I'm not finna get that shit up for Facebook. You must be crazy. Hey, I don't even like posts that got anything to do with that type of work, bro. I'm good. I look at it, be like, oh, that's interesting. I won't like it or repost it.
Yep.
There you go.
And I think that's now I'm gonna circle back to something we talked about earlier. Lion brought up hip hop culture, and I'm just gonna say culture in general. The culture of today is much different than the culture we came up with, the one that we have instilled. And it's that of, and this is my pure opinion, I can do what I want, and you have to adjust your rules to fit me. And we always give people passes. We always ignore the little things because of that. And then when the big thing happened, then it's like, oh, he shouldn't have did that. But I guarantee it was a bunch of little stuff he was doing that led all the way up to this. Why do you think the players had to meet? It wasn't just that. It was more than that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if hip hop culture is the scapegoat here.
No, I say culture in general because I can't
do I think there's some negative things in our society today that could, I mean, that's why that's why I talked about what I talked about with the nigger factory. Yeah, I believe some of what he done is definitely a product of the nigger factory. I just, it's just early on in the man's career. He's just becoming a superstar. I hope this can be reined in. I think it's a multifaceted. When you say when you want to say who's at fault, it's largely him. He's a grown man.
Mhm.
I do think some of it is maybe his parents, as far as why would you call your
What?
child in a situation about an incident at the finish line? Like,
Yep.
All right,
don't buy the shoes. Like, don't go to finish line. Like, this is not.
Cause they know you got lots of money. I'm gonna take my money somewhere else. But go ahead,
Right.
Julio.
Why are you at the store? Like, just order that shit online. Like, I don't even understand why
Because
you
they
at the
still
store.
who would have?
But
Sorry, my oldest son is basically a little taller than me, so eventually he'll be bigger than me.
Yep.
yeah,
I'm not calling him. I don't care who's standing in front of me to fight. First of all, I don't even want to put him in that danger. I'd rather just get the ass whooping and keep it moving. Like, and then second of all, I'm not fighting you to spend my money in your establishment. At the point we get to a back and forth too much,
I'm out of there.
you're gonna be all the curse words I want, but I'll be like, it been left that I'm gonna spend money here. It just now keep trying to give you everything I want to say to you in this store because I'm not spending money here at all. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah. So I definitely questioned her thought process of calling her son into a situation that may end in violence. That's ridiculous.
I don't. Her son, and all of his friends are her personal security force. She can call them for whatever she wants, and they gonna come and do it. You know why? Because everybody, they always like, my mama this, my mama that, and I'm gonna do anything for my mama.
Are they still married? Or are they just
yeah?
Okay. Why would you not call your husband? Damn, your son.
Because the son got his little and all of his friends.
You stupid.
You know.
Pew pew.
Well, you ain't worth quarter, doc.
Hey. Look, John Morant. My bad, man. Don't look. I'm in Georgia. Don't send them down here. Y'all ain't got to come. My bad.
Y'all, I'm not.
My bad. I'm just a teacher.
I got that with me.
Oh my God.
But I'm saying, but not. So this is the part of a bigger problem, and this is something I hear T.S. Johnson talk about all the time. If y'all don't watch him, go ahead and pull up that brother. He is very powerful. But he talks about how men are conscripted into involuntary/voluntary service by the women who say they love them. Like this. You know, this is how a lot of men die and get hurt because the woman, the mom, whoever started this trouble, and then they call their son, husband, boyfriend to come finish it. There's plenty of evidence out there for that. Now, when I say it's a culture problem, that's one of them. That is one of them. Why you got to flex? And then your son, $100 million man, and you call him to come to the mall to argue on your behalf. No, I want him to stay. I don't even want him to twist his ankle wrong when he step out of the truck.
Man, all right. First of all, I'm a middle class guy. Middle class, I don't need to say the amount of money, but I'm a middle class guy, right? Just glad to be there. I don't like going to the mall unless I'm shopping specifically for something. And I'm talking about I'm in a city that the mall I actually got to go to get a lot of stuff when I really want to go shopping is the Lenox Mall where everybody come to. Like, because other malls, they cater to not my demographic. But Lenox.
Oh, that's a nice way to say it.
But yeah, so that's the busiest mall. I don't want to be in there because I just want to get what I got to get and get out. People in crowds don't know how to behave or walk or any of this other stuff. And I don't have time for stupidity or you proving to me that you think you got more money than me when you live at home with your mama. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
But and my argument, again, and we've seen this in the past with other people who are famous, is that we as society in general, not me and you and us, but society as general, always make excuses for people, especially young black people. For example, the biggest one, and I'm gonna talk about it, and I got in plenty of arguments because of this. When Sha'Carri Richardson got tested for marijuana and they put her off the team, and people had plenty problem with that. I had a problem with that because she the one that chose to smoke. And they be like, oh, well, her grandma died and she had all these troubles.
Don't matter, bro.
Do not matter. But we always giving passes for that stuff. We give them passes. And you know what? Second chances is exactly what it is. It's a second chance, not a 100th chance or a 200 chance. It's a second chance. At some point, we got to stop it. We have to stop, because you know what? You might not be the person that's destined to help that person. It might be somebody that's in the jail that's supposed to change their life, and you hindering them from getting the help that they need because we keep giving people second chances. I say throw them up under the jail and be done with it.
I ain't gonna. Well, I don't think anybody that we're talking about or you have mentioned so far that I've heard.
Now, they ain't got to go to jail now.
Okay?
they ain't got to go to jail now.
But I agree. Like, you got to stick to the rules, bro. Like, I get, okay, your mom died, right? Or grandmother, whoever passed away. I'm sorry. It doesn't avoid the rules that you agreed to when you're doing your job. And in this case, being a student athlete was her job.
Right.
But part of that is you can't smoke weed. Now, do I have an issue with cannabis? No, but it's illegal. Okay, well, if it's illegal, then to this, then you can't do it. That's just the way it fucking goes.
You signed the contract. You agreed to the terms. Once you agree to the terms of something, you got to stick with it until you play it out.
And remember what I said.
Same thing with Ja, like you said. The NBA, I'm sure, has morality clauses.
Oh yeah,
in the contract. If he's breaking those morality clauses, he has to suffer the consequences. I just hope wherever he's at, they get a hold of this. He gets back to what Deion Sanders. I think it was Deion Sanders says, put the first thing first. And the first thing is being a great basketball player. You can't do that if you off the court for bullshit, for nonsense.
Yep.
So the first thing
I would be like Kobe.
Right. Be a great basketball player. And the second thing, be a great steward of your blessings. God ain't gonna bless you with more if you don't act on what you believe in.
I think you need to reverse those. You need to be a good steward first, because you got these blessings. In order to keep them, let's protect those, and that goes into the thing. But also, to piggyback on what you're saying, you got to leave some of them back in the hood, bro. Everybody's not ready to leave. Everybody don't have to leave. And if you can't, and you need to find a job for them. Don't just have people around without a real job and hold it into a real responsibility, because you're just giving them money and they can't conduct themselves in this manner. That's not the way business works. You can't take the streets to the boardroom. Like Jay talks about taking the streets to the boardroom. He's not talking about bringing dudes in there with pistols on their hip. He's talking about the mentality it takes to run an actual organization in the streets, and then making that here, because it can work with just a few minor tweaks. But you got to have that mindset to want to change. And when they don't have it, you got to leave them there until they can get their mindset right, or just all together. Sometimes people are there for just a season, not a reason.
And that's another question. Based on what you just said, Julio, I meant to pose this question earlier. You got 9 extra dudes with you.
Nope.
What's their job? What is the other 9 dudes' job?
You know what their job is? I'm gonna tell you. That's a mama security force.
Eating off you. That's their job, to sit and use your money.
But you know what though? Look at, and you painted a picture earlier about LeBron James. Look what LeBron James did with his homeboys. He sent them to school. He sent them to be on the mentors, and then he gave them a job. I like what you said with that, because
they got to have a job. They got to have a purpose for being around me. You don't just get to sit there and be there. You got to have a reason.
Teach the fishermen how to fish.
He got, I want to say, Everett Carter to intern with Nike to figure out how to run the business part of that. So then he got him that. His guy, Rich Paul, I think he probably interned as a agent somewhere, so he could learn the business there, and then employed them to run his business from that aspect and works with them. So he could all get them jobs. And then the dudes who play ball, the other guys who play ball, because them dudes I think were on the team too, they all function in their own thing. They didn't try to leech on the LeBron. One is like, I think the son from the coach from the high school, he's now a coach, I believe, and the other ones played overseas, this or that. So they all didn't leech off him. They went into the thing, and if they need help, he was there to help, not to let you leech off me and have no existence as a person.
Right.
Boy, y'all just said a whole bunch. I love that. That's some.
So I'm gonna go ahead and Julio, I'm going to turn over to you, man. You got any final words? Anything you're doing that you want to promote? Anything out like that you want to say? Go ahead and close this thing out, brother.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, make sure y'all I'm really in this new space right now. I got more coming, but like wall art, coasters, anything engraving. I just got my metal cards. So if you need business, if you want to step up your business card game, I got the aluminum cards. We'll put your stuff on them. Nice and sleek. Right now I'm carrying black, but eventually I'll get more colors as people, want them. anything pretty much engraved, wood, metal, acrylic, I got you. Just be on the lookout for different creating. So that's really it. And then still put t-shirts and hoodies. I got a new hoodie I just came out with called Dope Black Dad, Dope Black Mom, Dope Black Son. And I stopped at son because I don't have daughters, but eventually I'm gonna do daughters as well, you know, things like that. And it got like a Martin feel to it with their type of writing.
The font, yeah.
Okay, do you got a website or something people can go to?
Foresight, the number 4, SIGHTATL.com. If you go on there, there's different places. You can click to buy the book directly there, t-shirts that I already have up, hoodies, and eventually the stuff that I'm starting now with the wall art. And it will move to full-on tables. I just got to get to the equipment. When I start dropping out them epoxy tables, bro, that bag, like Joe said, yesterday's price is not today's price. Please, bro. Like,
hey, but I would gladly pay you for a hamburger on Tuesday if you give me one today.
Well, we don't do credit, but they got companies like there's one called Amex, right? And we accept them. Hard, and we'll take the payment, and then you can worry about paying them on Wednesday, but you pay Julio on Tuesday when you want the order.
Oh, that's one of them old Popeye references.
So Doc, man, you got anything, man? You want to say close it out, brother?
I do. Man, thank all y'all for coming and doing all of that stuff. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, y'all need to link together. Send me some pics and links, Julio. That's Fritz. Fritz does furniture too.
Okay, I'm working on it because I'm literally just cutting a lot of stuff, coming up with designs and stuff, but I definitely get it up. I'll send you the links, and I'll put the link for my website in here so you can just click and go to it. I got up now, which stuff right here, stuff I've done with books and stuff.
And I'm going to try to, I'm going to come up with something from a space, and then I'll send it to you so I could throw something on my wall back there and all that. So, but I got to see what I want.
We'll get it together. Like we'll work. And I'll tell you what I can and can't do, and we'll work out.
Oh, yeah, man. But all right, but this is what I want to say. Most important thing of all, listen, next week, y'all don't miss the opportunity. We are doing the book study on atomic habits. This is the book. You want to be there. If you want to change your life forever, you need to be there. We will be teaching this book. This is a manual on how to improve your life. He called it Atomic Habits because all of the little tiny changes you make in your life, like atoms, build up to be a big thing. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Thursday, yeah, well, we'll say Thursday for now, if you want to change, but Thursday at like 7:30, y'all don't miss it. Do not miss this. I was reading the book and it got so good. I wanted to call somebody right then and tell them about it. Don't miss it.
I ain't saying you should promote one business or another, but put the link to the book in there for wherever you want them to, go to get it.
Oh, I know. Oh, that I'm setting up some stuff for that.
They can get straight to the book that you mentioned.
Hey, I just want to say everybody, man, thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate y'all joining us on this Saturday morning, man. We hope you get some positive words and people something to talk about. So please come join us on Thursday for the book study. I know we put a lot of energy into that. We love it. That's what we're really here for. Thank you, Julio, for coming and stopping by. And we're checking you out. I see the clips for the CO show, man. I see what you guys doing out there. And, man, I appreciate the work. And Doc, as always, man, appreciate the insight. Thank y'all for joining us. We love you. We out.
We out. Later.
Peace.